Hello, parents. My name is Lou Sexton, and I am one of the counselors here at Shadow Hills High School, and I am the MTSS site coordinator. MTSS is about multi tiered systems of support. This is a California initiative that is being adopted in states all over the country. And the point of the initiative and to employ these systems of support is to better help our children learn from their actions and learn how to take responsibility for them and be more responsible citizens in the community. So, with that, let's go on and look at this system. So, this diagram is the transformational tool that is used throughout districts all over the country. You see the first blue box addresses the structure, and the MTSS structure is about teaching or instruction and intervention. It's about how we can work together to collaborate and solve problems. It's about looking at our data and the assessment tools our students take and the surveys we would give teachers to see where we are. And it's about everybody who's involved at Shadow Hills as a stakeholder really getting involved. And we want to use our data to make sure that we are including all students, all staff, and that we are moving towards just a better and better school. When you see the term Tier 1 Foundation, Tier 1 means for all students, something we have in place that is for everyone. Then when you look at the Tier 2 Foundation, that is for 20% of the student body, these Tier 2 foundations. Tier 1, 100% of the student body. Tier 2, 20% of the student body. And Tier 3 is for anywhere from 5 to 8% of the student body. And these three tiers address our school's climate, it addresses our school's academics, it also addresses our restorative practices. How do we help students learn from their behaviors? How do we help them restore relationships? How do we help them get along better with their teachers, get along better with one another? And then it has this wonderful component that I love as a school counselor, the mental wellness. Mental health plus SEL. SEL means social emotional learning. And those are lessons that help us grow in that area. And you can see that at the level 1 here, Tier 1, we are teaching what it means to have social emotional intelligence. We're teaching responsibility. We're teaching how to manage our emotions. We're teaching how to get along with others. We remind students of social skills. Right? For example, tech etiquette. Take your AirPods out before you walk in the room. Take your earbuds out before you walk in the room. Have your phone put away. We're also introducing mindfulness to students, and we've been doing that since 2020. And we have times where we have staff mindset and wellness as our focus and student mindset and wellness. So again, Tier 1 means this is for everyone. Tier 2, that 20%, is about certain practices with small groups of children at a time. And when I say small, I mean like 4 to 6. And then the mental health component is that Tier 3, which is individualized help, individualized counseling, individualized outside agencies that help one student at a time. And so our response to how do we take all of this social emotional intelligence and regard for others, and we looked at our posture. Knights do it right. And we took a deep dive into what we thought respect means, integrity, greatness, honor, and teamwork. And a couple of these qualities don't get talked about as often as we would like. For example, uh, we all talk about respect, don't we? How we show a high regard for ourselves, for others, and for property. Integrity, we really boil down to doing what's right when no one is looking, but you know. Even though no one else may know you did what was right, you do. We don't spend a lot of time these days talking about greatness and honor, and that's something we've brought back to Shadow Hills. So, greatness means I pushed through my adversity to reach my full potential. It doesn't mean that the way was paved for me and it was just an easy stroll in the park. It's that I faced obstacles. I faced illness. I faced transportation issues, but I made sure I got to school and I did my best. And then honor, valuing the principles of truth and honesty, something our society, is really in need of. And then teamwork. We are, the working world is so much more about teamwork today than it ever was, and collaboration. And we want our students to be prepared for the working world when they leave here, and whether they go to a trade school or COD or a four-year university, they will eventually enter the workforce, and we want them to be ready to be a team. Our next slide. Putting all of this together really requires at the tier one level a lot of systems in place. And it really begins with defining who your team is at the tier one level, who's helping put policies in practice. Our leadership team and our tier one team have combined for this. And then it's a school-wide commitment that all of us are saying we do all want to be knights who do it right. We all want to strive for greatness and be honorable and show respect for ourselves and others in our school. And that is what leads to our expectation system. If we want to be knights who do it right, what do we expect from ourselves and what do we expect from others? And then in the classroom and in the career counseling center, it's important that we teach this to our students and that we teach them how we want them to behave, what our expectations are. We did this on the first week of school-wide. We taught the RIGHT posture with specific lessons. And then when our students are doing what's right, we want to employ an acknowledgement system. And we have Student of the Month, but right now we're working on even more with our Dungeon Dollars. And then we want to look and see how behaviors are and what our data is and if things are working and how we can improve them, where there are weaknesses and how can we build on our strengths. And that is how we start assessing what we're doing and what we want to do next. And you can see this is a never ending circle. And so what I find to be really a powerful slide that I go back to as a human being, the social emotional lessons that really build our core competencies. And as you can see by this pie, there are 5 core competencies. Self-awareness. Do I know how I feel? Do I know what I think? Do I know how I'm acting right now? Am I aware of my thoughts, feelings, and actions in any given moment? Responsible decision making. Am I going to make decisions that are responsible and lead to the greater good for my life? Relationship skills, social awareness, and self-management. And these bullet points are, I think, fantastic bullet points. This was designed by an organization out of Austin, Texas. Self-awareness to label your feelings, relate feelings and thoughts to how your actions or your behaviors. Really accurately be able to assess yourself of your strengths and the challenges and your self-efficacy. How much do you believe in yourself and your optimism? How do you talk to yourself? Do you tell yourself you can do this, or do you say, there's no way you can ever do this? We want our students to optimistically talk to themselves. When they are making responsible decisions, are they considering their well-being, the well-being of others? Do they know how to act in a way that is responsible and ethical? Do they make decisions that are safe for themselves and for those around them? Do they evaluate and really consider consequences of various actions? Like, if I buy this vape pen and I smoke on campus, are either of those good decisions? And we hope that they really self-assess and become aware and say, I'm not going to do that because it's not good for me. I'll get in trouble and I'll hurt my parents and they'll be so upset. And then can that kind of thinking and reflective thought lead to constructive, safe choices for themselves, their friends, their family, and how they do in school? And when we look at relationship skills, and as you can see by these core competencies, this is not just about school. These skills are essential for life. And so in your relationship skills, do you have friends from other backgrounds other than yours? Do you communicate clearly when you're with them in class? Do you work cooperatively? And in resolving conflicts, do you seek help to resolve conflicts? Can you resolve them with respect and dignity for one another? When you are socially aware, the ability to look at something from someone else's perspective, to have empathy for them because you can put yourself in their shoes. Do you respect people who are different from you and believe differently than you do, whose families may not, for example, have traditions that your family has? Do you understand how you should be around others, how you should conduct yourself? And do you see that your family supports you, your school supports you, and you have a whole community out there that cares about you and that you are part of that community? And then self-management, which is really, it kind of leads to everything. Can I regulate my emotions at any given time? Can I manage stress? Can I exercise self-control? And even though I feel like saying this thing or doing this thing that is going to probably get me in trouble, even though it right now sounds so good, I'm not going to do it. And then that leads also to self-motivation. Do you want to do well in school, even for that class that you're not particularly interested in or you think is boring, but it's your grade, it's your transcript, it's your GPA? And so will you motivate yourself to do well in the absence of feeling great? And can you set and achieve, let's just start with some short-term goals for the week, goals for the quarter, goals for this passing, this progress report, leading to really having some solid goals for first semester that have been built upon. This is something that we can all look at, I believe, on a daily/regular basis every week and remind ourselves, I may already know this, but that reminder of, yeah, I really do want to manage myself. I really do want to make responsible decisions because I know they lead to a better life. Even if you know it, it's worth revisiting, because this is one of those slides I say, this is gold. This is golden. The nuggets on here can change the course of your life if you follow them. And then this is just, I wanted just to give you an idea of our behavior management process. And you'll see that in a classroom, these are the same qualities. Here's our posture: respect, integrity, greatness, honor, and teamwork. And respect revolves around social awareness and relationship skills. Integrity involves responsible decision making. Greatness, it has to do with self awareness and self management. Honor is about responsible decision making. Teamwork is about social awareness and relationship skills. And then we have some everyday kind of behaviors that can fall under these categories. And we really want teachers to just visit with a student up to 3 different times saying, um, let's say they're off task, I really need you to get back to work. And then maybe the kids, off task, kid says, okay. Then they go off task again. And the teacher says, no, I really want to remind you this is due at the end of the period. And the kid says, okay. And then maybe the third time the teacher steps out of the class with the student and says, what do I need to do to impart to you how important it is that you get this work done? 3 times, handles it, everything goes well. If after those 3 times in the class things don't go well, they can refer them to Miss Alexander's office. But we really want teachers to use as many strategies as they have in their toolkit to help our students have their very best behavior, and reminding them about being on time, that we're here to work and not to play around, that it's important that they are here every day if they're not sick, and how to, come to class prepared with your Chromebook charged, and dress for success. And of course, tell the truth, wear that lanyard, and um, be respectful of the teacher. Don't disrupt, allow them to teach, and um, polite remarks. This is just an introduction of what we have been working on now for 4 years, that we were still processing even during the pandemic. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, please reach out to your child's counselor or myself, lou.sexton@desertsands.us. And remember, as always, Knights do it right.